faces I'm keeping warm, and I try them on when it suits me. Try to be who you'll need, but I can't keep it up, or I'm not trying hard enough. It's not a thing you can trust. Confess to anyone if they ask the right questions, or if I know they won't listen and they tell me I'm forgiven. And I'm waiting on a lucky turn, looking back to a bridge I've burned, looking back to someone I hurt. Wanna tell myself I've learned, but I can't be sure. I know I've been here before. Have enough. Ask for more. Call it love. Call it a chore. Build a house. Lock the door. I don't like what I've been doing, but I won't change, 'cause I'm getting something from it, 'cause it gets me through the day, and it's always the same, familiar and out of place, saying something I don't mean with a smile on my face. Saying something I don't mean. I'm not breathing like I used to. Faces I don't need it like I used to. Just keep apologizing to you. It's something to do, and it serves me to ask for your sympathy. Laying on my belly with my tail between my teeth, and I fall asleep and you fall asleep, and we both hold on, but there's nothing for us to keep, and time comes for me just in time to repeat. I've never been here before, I never seem to leave. All I'm asking, tell me to something.
Hello, everyone. I'm your host, Courtney Love. Welcome to another episode of Braving New Worlds. You were listening to some tracks from the album Looking by Cave People. I am so lucky today to be joined with the lead singer of that band, Dave Temain. Welcome, Dave.
It's great to be here. I feel lucky to be here with Courtney Love on the show.
So formal. Oh, wow. 13 viewers. We love to
Oh,
see it.
they're rolling out.
They're rolling out, coming out strong.
They have no idea what they're getting into.
Absolutely not. Disposable America, Mushy Queen, Fables, Kai, how you doing? Quest for Method, Kitty, how you doing tonight? Oh, my friends are here. Let's turn on some lo-fi music to get into the mood. Dave, tell us how you doing.
I'm doing well. Hanging out. How am I doing? I'm doing great. Came home from work, took a nice shower, hit that reset.
Perfect.
My roommate brought me home Taco Bell, and here we are.
Beautiful. Taco Bell is a big part of the conversations I have with my chat. One of my viewers, and I like to call him a friend, went to a Taco Bell resort that was over
Wow.
in Palm Springs in Florida.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
What was it like?
I really
it
don't
like
know
a-
how to describe it. It's
Like a Baja Blast hot tub, or
oh, I wish there was there was a hot tub, I think, but yeah, it was like Taco Bell inspired, like cocktails, tons of different like foods, and like just I don't know, the amenities up the wazoo. Like they would fill up your fridge with anything you wanted to. It was really cool.
that sounds luxurious.
Yeah, definitely. People are saying that they like your background.
Oh, thank you. I got this at a vintage shop in Philly called Maiden Maker, where my friend Kylie works. They're in a cool band called Pedal. And it was a tablecloth that I thought looked cool, so I bought it. And now
It's
I put
great.
it behind me a lot.
It's making for a great background. So, I came into knowledge of your band by listening to Disposable America's Bandcamp. Dustin's a good friend of the show, allowed us to use some of the albums as background music, and I came across Looking, and I absolutely loved it. I've used it maybe twice so far. I think I'm like hitting up my limits before I need to actually buy it, but I'm pinching a penny over here. But tell us about how that collaboration came into happening.
I think I was just like I over like through the way that the internet works, where you just kind of stumble upon people. I was just like a casual Dustin fan, really overall. I really liked True Believers fan club, like his Etsy shop that he would sell like a lot of old like vintage stuff on, and like old like retro like figures and all sorts of knickknacks. And I bought a lot of stuff from that.
Oh wow, great.
And then kind of like also like liked bands on Disposable America. So we finished like the record, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do with it or like what was gonna happen. But I was like kind of friendly with Dustin at this point. So I not even like to ask him to put it out. I just like DM'd him the record and was like, if you want to listen to this, we have a record. And then we were like, I was like tweeting nonsense as I'm wont to do. And I feel like Dustin hit me up and was like, do you have someone to put this out? Because we could maybe talk about doing it. And then from there, we decided to put the record out together. And overall, I'd say became good friends in the process too.
That's great. Dustin says Dave is on the customer to friend to record label roster pipeline.
Yeah. It's a good route. If anyone's considering signing to Disposable America, I suggest making some purchases first, then become friends, then pursue getting your music on the label.
The implication.
Yeah.
I really like how all of this has been coming out, you know, because it just seems like the most wholesome way to be running this label. You know, it's been like making these friendships. All these collaborations are across the board. And of course you've got like live music coming at us like on Twitch with those Tuesday Night Lives. Have you been a part of any of those shows on Twitch?
Yeah, I did a Tuesday Night Live. Oh, for the Halloween one.
Cool.
So like right before Halloween. And then I've done a bunch of like just Disposable America streams over like quarantine and stuff before like Tuesday Night Live was like the night. But I've done a bunch of them for sure.
Hell yeah. And that's something we should mention too, that you're no stranger to Twitch. Besides you broadcasting off of Chona Zoner off of their stream, what has been your experience with Twitch?
My experience has been making my own account and then like really like hesitantly like dipping my toes into streaming like anything really. Like I started very small and then would turn it off within like 20 minutes because I would get so nervous. Like I couldn't get over being self-conscious about it. And then Dustin and I talked about doing like a show on the Disposable America Twitch account, wherein the last Monday of every month, or maybe the first Monday of every month, I would play Mega Man. So it'd be Mega Man Monday. And I played through a bunch of the Mega Man X games. And then we like skipped 1 month and then I got really distracted. And at the same time started streaming with Owen, Chona Zoner a lot, where we've been doing like, we just played through the first Kingdom Hearts game and now we're on to Kingdom Hearts 2, which has been fun. But I should return to Mega Man Mondays too. And I think it's time.
Well,
assuming he'll have me.
Yes. We've got live chat right here. Dustin, let us know if that's still going to happen. But yeah, I stopped by that stream the other day, and that's one of my favorite games of all time, like probably in the top 5. So that was a really entertaining time, you guys hanging out.
Yeah.
How did you?
Sorry.
No, please.
Well,
no, you start and I'll
Hearts.
interrupt.
Please do. I love Kingdom Hearts. I loved the first one when I was young. I loved like 1 and 2, and then I played through just about all of them. I haven't played like the Rhythm one that came out.
Oh right,
like, more
Melody
recently.
of Memory.
Yeah. But yeah, I've had such a blast with those games. Even the ones that I think are bad. And Owen, on the other hand, has not played any of them, or like is just playing them for the first time, and like has like a nice level of being like a little jaded against them. He likes 2. He hated Kingdom Hearts 1. And I think it's just really fun to watch him engage with these things. He also like wasn't a big Disney fan. So like
okay.
Any of like the nostalgia that might be there in like doing some of this stuff is not there at all for him. And I think that's all really fun. Yeah. Right. It's like he's not the demographic at all, and making him play them all is really fun.
I really like that idea of getting someone who maybe is like an ex like Modern Warfare player or Call of Duty player, you know, and having them play a bunch of cozy games, really like against the grain of like what their shtick is, and seeing how that goes.
You could open someone's eyes, okay?
Dustin says, are there even any Mega Man games left? Are there even any Mondays left? The stage is yours always, King.
Oh, bless him.
So I'd love to talk more about this album and more about your musical background. Tell me about how Cave People came to be.
Cave People, I guess, started... I was like living in Scranton, and I was in another like band that was kind of still like my thing, but I was doing it with a friend, and we like couldn't meet up anymore for like a bunch of reasons. It was just like too difficult to like schedule things. But I didn't want to keep doing like the project without them, so I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna kind of start putting out music on like my own thing.
Okay.
So I released some like really lo-fi stuff that I think is not around anywhere anymore. But I released it on Bandcamp as Cave People like years and years and years ago. And then I ended up moving to Philly a little while later, and then that like recorded it out here with like some friends. And that became like the first Cave People record, which was called Older, or the first EP. So it really just started as like a thing where I was just like writing songs and I would ask friends to play on them. So it's had like a ton of collaborators and like lineup changes, but it's kind of the vibe is always like everyone's welcome, but like no one has to hang if they have other plans. Which has worked pretty well, and I feel like it's really settled into like a great group of people that I get to make music with now, who like are like there is more of a lineup now, but like I think it's really there's like a lot of freedom surrounding that I like a lot, and I'm really grateful for like the band now and everyone who's ever played in the band, because it's been such like a privilege to get to make music with so many of my friends.
That's amazing. When did producing music become your creative outlet?
Interesting. I didn't like write music until like I was like maybe like 17 or 18. Like
Okay.
I started playing guitar when I was like 14 or 15, but like I was always just like, oh no, I can't do that. Like I'm just trying to learn how to play like this like dashboard confessional song. And I remember like finally getting like some like recording stuff, I think for my 18th birthday, maybe my 17th birthday, and like trying to record my first song. And I'm sure it was bad, but there was like a time when like at that era I had like in a year would have like, I don't know, like 50 or 60 songs just on this like in like my iTunes library that I had written. And they were all garbage, but like I think of that now as it like feeling like, oh, if I could write that many songs right now, I would feel so much better about like just like that output is so crazy. I'm always shocked that I ever did it. But I didn't really start performing until like a little while after that, probably.
Were there any sort of like obstacles that you had to face, like to go through that in terms of like, because performing's a big thing, you know, getting on stage and getting, you know, behind a camera even.
Yeah, I think what helped was like kind of finding more peers who were doing things like that, because most of my friends like weren't really involved in like playing music. Like I would go to shows or like try to get them to go to shows and stuff like that, but like they weren't necessarily also interested in like playing it, or it was always the kind of thing that I was like dragging them around to. But like through like doing things like that and like getting to know people who like I probably had more in common with, like I started like meeting people who are like, oh, you should like hop on this show, like it'll be fine, just like play for 10 minutes, and if you want to stop.
That's great. That's a great community.
Yeah, so it was just like it would start really slowly. It'd be like, oh, we're gonna play a show at like this kid's house tonight, and then like eventually it was like, oh, there's like a venue in town that we can play at, and like stuff like that. Yeah,
that's awesome. Well, since you're no stranger to Twitch, we have got some redemptions here. You're welcome to do them yourself. We had a hydrate from Kai, so if you do want to hydrate, feel free to go with that. And Dustin redeemed something called a show and tell, where viewers can choose whether or not to pick a video game, a comic book, or I believe it was vinyl. Dustin chose comic book. I don't know if you have any access to comic books where you're at.
I mean, I do.
All right, cool. So we're both going to grab a comic book, and then we're going to bring it as a show and tell, okay?
Great.
All right,
I'll be right back.
All right, let's do it. All right. How's everyone in the chat doing? Y'all been having a good time? Has anyone taken a break from watching things on the screen? Because if you need to, feel free to turn this into a podcast. get
If
up
anyone's
off
having
that chair.
a bad time too, we could talk about that.
Yeah, yeah. If anyone's having a bad time, we definitely make this the sort of like focus group and or like community support group. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. That's what people are telling me. It's fine. Would you like to go first?
Sure. I grabbed this comic that a friend made called "A Mime Walks Into a Bar." This is by my friend Ro. I'm gonna show you a little bit. Oh, this is a cool page.
That's great.
Their at is both palms on Twitter. They're super cool, and they designed our last shirt that we put out. But they wrote and drew this comic that I think is really sick, and we're currently working on a comic together that's going to come out like in conjunction with like our next record whenever that is ready to come out.
Ooh, exciting.
I don't know when. It's done. I just don't know when it's going to come out.
That's so cool that you supported your friend by buying some of their art, because their art looks amazing.
I mean, they're great. I feel like they have also supported Cave People. Like, they kind of appeared at the very last show we played before quarantine, and like gave me all these like it was them and their friend CJ, and they both came with like all this like customized merch that they had made to like give me, and it's probably like one of the nicest thing that like a set of strangers has ever done for me. And so it's been really cool to get to like collaborate with them a little bit since then.
That's awesome. That's great. Mine is kind of a personal thing, and it has to go with like the beginning of my sort of like comic book collecting. So I'm a big fan of DC. That's kind of how I started, and I was always intimidated by like reading manga or like reading comic books in general, just because like it's encyclopedic. Like there's so many comics. How do you just like get into it? So when I went to a comic book shop, I saw this series, and it was called Countdown. I was like, oh, cool. We're counting down to a big event. Why don't I just keep buying these things? And this kind of like made me want to collect comics more. So that's for you, so you can see.
Kurt, I've read Countdown, and I feel like that was a hard issue to jump in on?
Well, it started from 51 and going down. So this was 50. And I knew from the artwork I needed to get it. And I ended up getting it signed to, like, I think the Wizard World Chicago. This one particularly not bad. No, it's Jimmy Olsen going right into action. Because this was a big deal for him. You know, he was been the sidekick for so long, and he's finally getting some superpowers. So yeah, this kind of like solidified my fandom for DC and me going into comic collecting.
That rocks.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's show and tell. So one question I'd like to ask you, and then maybe we can go into a couple songs. Sound cool?
Sure, yeah.
All right. The question I want to ask is, what about what you do makes you excited?
Oh, that's a tough question, Kurt.
Right.
What about what I do? Do I get excited? I definitely get excited about things. I'm gonna start saying words, and I don't know if they'll make any sense together.
I love it.
I definitely get excited about, like, this is gonna really just be a circle. I get excited about like making things that I'm really proud of or like psyched on. Like, I get really excited about doing things that I think are interesting or it's like sound cool, whether it's like in writing or like are sonically pleasing. Like, I think there's a feeling where you're like, oh, this is actually cool, or like we kind of nailed it here. And I get really excited about putting that stuff out, like making something that you are genuinely proud of and then like sharing it with the world, I think is a really cool feeling. So like what that ends up being on like a smaller level is like hard to say, or like changes a lot depending on the thing. Like sometimes I get really excited about like a cool phrase in a song, or like someone else will do like a lead that I think is awesome. But like the culmination of all of those things coming together is like very exciting for me to be like, okay, well, like we made this thing, like here it is. It's like a work on its own. Like it's 10 to 12 songs of whatever, and like this is the thing that we've prepared. I get really excited about just like sharing that and like letting people decide what they think about it.
That's a great answer. I love that. You ready to go into a couple songs?
Sure. Yeah.
All right, let me transition over here.
This is a song that I guess I wrote after Looking was recorded, but before our next record was recorded. And I didn't put it on that record. I don't know if it'll ever be out on anything, but I was getting ready for this and started doodling around with it, so I figured, all right, I'll play that. It's really sad. I'm sorry. We'll just have to deal with this together.
Finders keepers, that's the rule. You find me lost, I keep it to you. I keep it to me too. Find me something bolted down so I can tear the screws out. We like to fall down. I always know a good thing when it's gone. It's like it's not good till it's a thing that I want. You could have a piece of me, whatever you'd like to see. I do it all for free. While I'm waiting on a day, a quiet place where we can lay, somewhere we can stay. And I'm only ever writing one song. It's never over, but sometimes it's done. Take it all from me. You can have everything. Take it off of me. I'm tired of feeling heavy. Take this offering. My altars keep changing. Get me off my knees. Show me mercy. Understand.
Hell yeah. That was amazing.
Thank you, Kurt.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, of course. This could be the only place to hear it.
Thank God I'm going to put it in perpetuity on YouTube.
Yeah.
So do you want to go into another song, or do you want a quick question before we go into the next one?
Up to you. Hit me with a question.
Okay. Something I'm curious about is the process of when an idea in your head becomes lyrical. What is that like for you?
Uh, it certainly varies. I think I'm a better, or like, I think I'm not a great musician overall. Like, I'm not a great guitarist. There's like a lot of things I don't know. I play with a lot of people who are like significantly better, and I think that's great. And that's kind of why I surround myself with those people. I think that I'm like an okay writer, or like a proficient writer enough to like have a lot of like ideas and like words that I want to put into music, or like to make lyrical, or sometimes like, they become something else that isn't necessarily to music, because I do writing outside of that. But I think for me, a lot of times I'm just like sitting around with like an idea or a concept that I'm thinking about a lot, and then when I like sit down to play guitar, kind of translating that into like a melody that I'm coming up with, or like sometimes I'll just be like jotting down like little notes in my phone and be like, okay, well, this like phrase has a nice cadence to it, and also I think it has like a nice meaning to it, or like has something worth saying. So like I'll keep this around for later, and then at one point there'll be like a moment where like, okay, well, this can fit here, or like something similar to that can fit here. So I think it's mostly just having a lot of feelings in general, and then feeling willing to like translate them into like melody, or into like a sense of poetry, or taking like feelings that could be like either universal or like hyper specific, and being like, okay, well, how can I like talk about this in a way that like makes sense, but also like isn't necessarily like, I don't like to write lyrics to an extent. I don't like to write lyrics that are like hyper obvious. Like I think I like some of that. Like I think there's a lot to be said for like just saying it, but also like I like there to be some like game going on, or some playfulness where like maybe there's something to think about, or like another level to something beneath like what's being said, while still giving like all the pieces necessary to find it there. That's like my tightrope, like between like
great. Yeah.
I don't want to be too vague, but I don't want to be like, I got sad and this was it, like I just think
Right.
there's like a fun space in between, that I hope I like achieve sometimes.
Nice. I like the
that's dream.
visualization to this like putting the ideas and like very physical, like putting them into places and in pieces. That was really interesting. Quick shout out to Sofa. Thank you so much for the raid. I really appreciate it. We got a whole crowd in here.
Whoa.
If you're just joining us, we are joined today by the lead singer of Cave People, Dave Temain. He goes by he/him pronouns. We've been talking about the songwriting process, and since the crowd's all here, why don't we go into another song?
Alrighty.
Awesome.
Cool.
Here we go.
Cool. This is from the record that we put out most recently called Looking. Hope you get what you deserve, but I hope I don't get what I deserve. I can't take that kind of hurt. Take that kind of hurt. Falling back on familiar forms. I got some faces I'm keeping warm, and I try them on when it suits me. Try to be who you'll need, but I can't keep it up. Or I'm not trying hard enough. It's not a thing you can trust. I'll confess to anyone if they ask the right questions, or if I know myself I've learned, but I can't be sure. I know I've been here before. Have enough. Ask for more. Call it love. Call it a chore. Build a house. Lock the door. Lately, breaking, take it easy. Lately, breaking, take it easy.
Amazing. Thank you again.
Hey, my pleasure.
And the people are going wild. Lots of claps. Lots of claps
Wow.
everywhere.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you so very much.
All right, let me get myself back on the screen over here. Oh, there we go. Awesome. That's incredible. I really like your work. So I'd love to know a little bit more about your inspirations throughout the years. You know, like the sort of things you grew up listening to, what you listen to now,
Mhm.
maybe like what sort of guided that.
What did I like growing like the first band that I remember really liking was definitely the Backstreet Boys.
Oh yeah.
I thought they were so good. I remember buying, or like I guess I didn't buy it because I didn't have any money. But my mom bought me Millennium when it came out at the Gallery of Sound, which is like a local. I'm from like Scranton, Pennsylvania, so it's from like a local like music shop there. And then I had to get like new school shoes or something. But
Mhm.
I remember like they were trying to get me to try on shoes, but I was listening to that I Want It That Way song on like headphones on a CD player because I had like just bought it and I needed to hear it immediately.
Nice.
Um, but then through that, like I grew up,
You
and
had to grow up.
yeah, I had to grow up sometime. You can't be a Backstreet Boy forever. Uh, and then I got like in high school, I guess in like grade school into high
Mhm.
school, I got into like pop punk. So I loved like Taking Back Sunday and like Newfound Glory and The Starting Line. Um, really like my favorite band was always probably like Jimmy Eat World at that time, and also like
Oh,
probably
nice.
Dashboard Confessional.
Mhm.
I would think like something corporate and Jack's Mannequin a lot back then. uh, and then I like eventually found like indie. uh, and then it was over. My eyes were opened. The curse of indie was thrust upon me.
Right. Get
But
woke.
my cousin was in college at the time, so he like had all like he had all the college radio indie on lock. So he kept giving me like data discs with like 400 songs on them that I would just like transport onto my iTunes and then I could listen to them. Is that a thing? That's probably not a thing that people ever have to do anymore. It was such a
Right.
moment.
The burn CDs. I've gotten flash drives. Oh, another
Uh-huh.
raid. What's going on, everybody? Trevor, thank you so
Hell
much
yeah.
for the raid. We're talking musical influences here with Dave Tamain of K People. Wow, 2 raids in one night. This is great.
Yeah, welcome everyone.
Yeah.
Because like the burn CD, you'd have like maybe 20 songs max, but the
Right.
data disc was not. You couldn't listen to it, but you could have like so many more songs on it. So I used to just get those from him all the time and found like Block Party and like Broken Social Scene and stuff like that.
Love Broken Social Scene.
Yeah, I've been revisiting them a lot recently, which has been great.
Yeah, the last time I saw them Live was in Chicago, and it was like right before their hiatus, and they performed on a Heineken billboard.
Whoa,
That was a good time.
that's wild. That's really cool.
Want to become famous? Listen to Cave People and stream Courtney Love. You
Easy.
said it right.
It's simple.
Disposable. Yeah, we had some bots in chat. Yeah, and that's a question for chat too. I mean, like, burn CDs. Were you part of that generation? I know we get younger and younger people, but you know, MP3 players, the knockoff iPods. Oh, whoa. Robin here says, "Oh my God, this is Cave People? I've been listening to their music so much now."
Robin, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
That's great, Robin. You probably heard the music from a Courtney Love stream, right?
See, it's all coming together.
It's
the
all
proof.
coming together. Oh,
Proof is
my
in-
heart. Dave, are you taking requests?
Yeah, honestly, absolutely, always. I'd much rather people tell me what to play.
Robin, do you have a request? Yes, Chris introduced it, and I have your whole album on my playlist. Oh,
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, if there's anything you want to hear, we can do that.
All right. Well, while we're waiting for Robin, let's do another question. And you can set your guitar down if it's not comfortable right now.
Just put it. I feel like I'm gonna hit it and it's gonna make noise by accident.
Wait, did you didn't just play Looking, did you?
No, I played Guild.
You played Guild, that's right.
Yeah.
So that might be the song that you play next. You mentioned that you've been doing Mega Man Mondays over on the Disposable America account. I'd love to know your relationship with video games. Where did that start? What's near and dear to your heart? What are you playing now?
Love video games. I'll still love video games. I was really close with like the Mega Man X games as a kid. I had them on Super Nintendo. My like older cousins and like older people I knew played them too, and I thought that was so cool. Really liked that. Really liked this game called Plock that was for Super Nintendo. Plock's really cool. It's really weird, but it has one of like the best Super Nintendo soundtracks I've ever heard. Like some of the coolest shit I've ever heard them do is on that soundtrack. It's so cool. Then I got really into like Zelda when I got an N64. Loved Ocarina of Time. Loved Majora's Mask, and then like eventually found my way to like RPGs and stuff. So like, you know, your Final Fantasies and your Personas and stuff like that. Right now I'm playing Final Fantasy VI on like an emulator.
Oh, nice. Wait, didn't that just come out? The remaster?
Oh, did it? I don't have that. I've been playing the original on my computer. Maybe I should get the remaster.
I think the remaster just came out.
Oh, no way. But yeah, I love it. It's so much fun. Before that, I played like Earthbound for the first time because I'd never played that. That was great.
Just recently?
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
I cried at the end. Really emotional.
Oh god, yeah. Wait till you play Mother 3.
Oh, I haven't. I've watched Owen on Shonen Center play through Mother 3, and it seems like it's like deeply emotional. I don't know if I could handle it right now.
Yeah, definitely. But that's the thing about video games. I think you know, it's the stories can be so impactful. And I mean, just the other day we were playing Sable. We were listening to Mazel Zahner's soundtrack. It was basically the opening track for the game, and that with the combination of the art just made us all just start sobbing.
Yeah, it happens.
Such a powerful moment.
When we were mixing our most recent record, and it was just me and like our engineer Matt there, and he was like doing a lot of stuff that like I don't really need to be listening to. So I was like playing Earthbound with like headphones on, and I got to the end of the game. And like he turned around and I was just like at my computer like crying.
Bro, what gets you crying like that?
Yeah, but it was good. It was a good cry. Well needed.
Hell yeah. Big fan in the chat. Robin says your music has like bee and puppy cat song vibes, or even something that'd be on Nightville. Welcome to Nightville.
Whoa.
Cool. Quest for Method says Persona music truly hits.
Yeah.
And Robin's absolutely geeking out so hard right now. I think we need to go to another song.
All right. I'll play Looking. I haven't played Looking in a really long time.
That's
so
my personal preference. I just
I might mess it up.
I love the lowest type of fidelity.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see if I remember it. It'll all work out. Fell into the same thing. An old familiar sinking. Knew I should be standing taller than I do. Asking you to save me from a mess that I'm creating. Staring at a cracked screen, trying to get through. And now I'm losing faith, wishing on loose change. And now I'm canceling. Sorry, something happened. There it is. And I thought that I could shake it, that I wouldn't have to take it with me. I'm getting good at faking, even when I don't know what's true. 'Cause maybe it's a bad dream, the kind that's reoccurring. Yeah, maybe I'm just sleeping next to you. I keep looking, finding the wrong things. Oh God, I'll remember how to do that. They come easy, they don't go easy. I'll be better when I'm empty. When all the spirits have left me. I'll be better when I'm empty. When all the demons have left me.
Hell yeah.
I need to work on that little lick.
That was beautiful. I feel like a Cave People concert would be so cozy. Voice like butter.
It's
Itches my brain just right.
oh, thank you all. I like to. It's funny because I've played so many of these like very intimate feeling shows. But like I feel like when we play live as a full band, like we rock out a lot more. It's a lot louder. Which is fun too, you know. We can be sad, but we're gonna have a good time about it.
Absolutely. But there's also time for the cozy vibes, and you can only find
Oh,
that
for
on,
sure.
on
We also-
Twitch. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to go to Courtney Love's channel for that.
OMG, I'd rockin' both. Couldn't be tamed. That's so good. Yeah. You know, things are opening back up. In-person shows are happening. You have a prospective new album coming out potentially soon. What are your aspirations when it comes to music and your own personal projects?
Essentially just to keep doing them. I'd like to play more shows, obviously. But like those will come, I feel like we're just kind of, things are beginning to open up. Like we put out Looking as a new record, but like that's over a year old at this point. So like it feels like it doesn't quite have the same push as like putting out like an album right now and going on tour. So like in general, what I really want to do is just to put this album out and like do that right and kind of get like having fun things to come out along with it. Like we're working on some music videos now. We're like working on this comic that's going to come out with it. Like just to try to make it feel like it's like a fun thing to come out. And then just to keep making things, you know, like I'd love to play those songs and get to do a show with that. Like to do shows with that and like tour on that album. But like in general, I just want to keep making music and like making comics and writing things in general. And it's cool. It does feel nice to be able to do that stuff when you feel like there's like an audience that like is like interested in that. Because sometimes, you know, there's a feeling of like, okay, well, I'll post this online and like I'm just annoying everyone, which is something I struggle with sometimes.
Well, we're here to dispel all of that because Robin, who's probably the biggest fan in chat right now, is also a comic book artist and is very interested to hear more about the comic that you're working on.
Robin, let's talk.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, you love comics. We didn't really talk about what your connection is with comics, really, about like when you started like reading stuff like that. But you said that you produce your own comics, like outside of this project.
Yeah. Yes. I have some out online right now that like I think are just fine. I think some are bad. I'm a person who ends up like really disliking my older work once like I reach a certain level of time away from it, which maybe isn't good. But I used to put out like comics pretty regularly. And I worked in a comic store for like 9 years. So it's always been like an art form that I've liked a lot and I've always loved. So I kind of like, I was doing that and then just kind of got distracted and was like working with other people. I also can't draw at all. So like I'm always looking for artists. So it is always like, it's a little harder. Like if I could draw these myself and like in a way that was like cool, I feel like I could put them out a lot faster. Robin, let's talk.
Looking for artists, he says. He says he's looking for artists. Hey.
But like not even like the comic isn't gonna be like a Cave People comic. Like it's gonna be a comic by me that I really want to stand on its own and be its own thing, but it's also going to come out at the same time as this record because I want to be able to put out like multiple forms of art that are kind of talking about similar themes and topics that like accent each other or can like, you know, enhance each other, but that aren't necessarily, you don't need to like have both to understand one. Yeah, it should be cool. I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited to see like it be real. And like I'm happy with what I've written for that. And then after that, just want to like I'm working on more right now. So just like I want to keep that coming out. I want to keep music coming out and just keep putting things out in the world.
That's amazing. It's really it's impressive what you got going on in your life. And pardon me for laughing while you were saying a lot of that.
No.
I was really impressed by it. But Robin in the chat was just like, "Ooh, band comics! I'm making a comic up for another band, Queen, because
Queen.
they are in fact making a Freddie Mercury comic. They're working on it.
Actually, with Queen."
I believe so. I don't know what the border is or like what's the middleman, but I'm pretty sure it's for Queen. Yes, with Queen. There you go.
That's cool.
That's fucking cool, right? The Freddie Mercury estate.
Oh my
That's
god.
basically Queen right there.
Yeah, that's. I mean, if that's not Queen, I don't know what is.
Dave, we got to get you in the Discord, man. We got lots of artists in there. They want to collaborate with you.
I mean, that's cool. That's exactly what I need.
There you go. I don't know how much time you have. I don't want to keep you because I feel like we can talk for hours here.
I mean, I'm good. I don't know how long these usually go. Like, I can keep going. We could wrap up whatever the vibe is.
I'm still chilling, and I would love to open up the chat for questions. If you have questions for Dave, please let us know. If you're just joining us and you don't know what's going on, this is an episode of Braving New Worlds where I like to invite artists that I think are making the world a better place by making the art that they love doing. Dave is lead singer of Cave People. If you put ! Cave People in the chat, you'll be getting a link to their Bandcamp where you can listen to their latest album, Looking, and tons of other albums as well. Yeah. So what is on your Netflix queue? JK. How easy has it been to like absorb other content during the pandemic and now? You know, I mean, you work a full-time job, or is it part-time?
It like depends on the week.
Okay.
It's like a part-time freelance kind of thing. So like that translates to like I could work like 60 hours in a week, or I could work like 12 in a week. But for the most part, it's pretty consistent. It's cool. But over the pandemic, I wasn't working much, but just in general, I'm a bit of like a content sponge, or like I really love stories in general. Like I really like care about stories and like narrative. And I love finding one to just like exist in for a little bit. So like I'm usually always like reading something or like playing a game or watching something, or all these things kind of going on together. And I feel like when I'm not doing that, like I feel less happy in general. Like I feel really good when like I have a few concurrent things going on where I'm like writing something, but also like reading something completely different, and also like watching something. Like I like to have like my things that I'm absorbing at the time. And a lot of that ends up getting like mined and transferred into like, you know, songs or content later.
Mm-hmm. Right, because it was a lot different, you know, before the pandemic, where it seemed that at least part of the reason why I would look at different content was because I had something to say to some people when I saw them in person, you know? So I think it was a little bit different, like nowadays, where it's like, okay, since we're kind of alienated from our communities, now we're kind of just enjoying the content for ourselves, or maybe just trying to distract us from whatever's going on. But would you say that the way that you consume content has changed at all?
I guess it depends on what it is, certainly, but like I do feel like I'm more aware than ever throughout the pandemic and everything, of like both like the crutch that like content or like stories and escapism can be for me, but also like my true, like, I don't know, my like love of it, or like my like admiration for it, like how important those things are to me. And like I think there's obviously a line where it's like you can't necessarily constantly be like escaping into stories or like hiding within them. And I feel like I talk about that a lot in our next record. But at the same time, having like a real love of just like stories and myths and narratives, and like taking so much comfort and joy in being able to like access them or enjoy them. So I feel like so than like the way I'm taking it in is different. I'm just more aware of my tendencies to do that, or like how much I like it versus how much I like kind of hide in it sometimes.
Okay. Thank you. Now some questions from the chat. Robin says, since they came in late, they might have missed this, but what was the one moment in your life that made you go, this is my path for music?
I wish I had one. I feel like I was always just so moved by seeing my friends play music, and like, you know, seeing them perform and hearing the stuff they're working on. Like nothing gets me more like jazz to like write or play or something, then being like seeing like a friend really kill it and being so inspired. It's like, oh, I gotta, like, I want to play music right now. Like, this is so cool. And I'm lucky enough to have like a lot of friends who are super talented and making things that I like love so much. So like, rather than a moment, I feel like I just found like a community that was like, yeah, we can all play music together, which has been nice.
Awesome. From Kitty House, one of my favorite questions is, how has where you grew up or lived influenced your work?
Uh, I grew up in technically Dixon City, Pennsylvania, which is like next to Scranton. Like if you want to go to the mall and you live in Scranton, you're coming to Dixon City. Um, but I think it was like definitely a small town. It was like a small kind of like gossipy town. So I think like, I don't know, my attention to the way that people like behaved and act started there. Uh, and then like kind of through that, I was lucky enough, kind of similar to the answer to the last question. Scranton, especially when I was growing up, had like an incredible scene, where like there was this older band called OK Patty that was playing when we were all pretty young. That was just like the coolest band ever. Like they were like the nicest people and just like making music that was so authentic and like original, but also like really accessible. So they were a huge like aspiration to all of us growing up. And then like through that, like I just became friends with people who were also playing music. So like I got to like go on tour to like help out like Tiger's Jaw and like stuff like that. Which were like really formative times of being like, oh, like you can play music and make money, or like you could just like jump in a van with your friends for a weekend and have like the most fun you've ever had. So it was just like, it was definitely, it was a cool place for all of that, and it was a really cool time to live in Scranton, I think, when I was like coming up.
Amazing. And this wasn't a question, but it's a comment, and it makes me want to think of a question for it. And it's, everyone rediscovering childhood passions over the pandemic is very real. Was there a time where some of the things that you liked maybe were shelved, or you sort of had to hide that part of yourself in order to like gain access to certain communities?
Uh,
And I can give an example of that if you need it.
could you rephrase the question? I'm just not sure I
I can try.
understand exactly.
So, has there been instances where you had to shelve your interests in order to gain access to a community because of how you might be seen for liking a particular thing?
Potentially. I feel like more than like, I was always pretty like open about my interests. Like I guess in high school I didn't like talk about like liking like anime and stuff, but I was always like the kid who worked at the comic store and shit like that. I feel like when I think about like hiding parts of myself, it was more like growing up in like small town PA and being like a gay kid, and just like feeling like I would have to hide that for like multiple reasons, where like I wasn't ready to come out, but also like if I was like I would like dating people back then, but like it would be a thing where like if I was to come out, then like he would have to come out too, and there was always just
Right.
this snowball of like, oh well, we can't say anything, which is silly, but also like, you know, had its place in time. So I feel like, you know, again, like finding a music scene, or finding like a supportive group of people who you could be like, yeah, this is just like what I am and what I'm into, and having them be like, that's cool, I like this stuff, like let's hang out, was really great and really important, and like made self-acceptance in general come a lot easier. um yeah, that's what comes to mind, I guess, for that.
Amazing. Um, wow, that was really powerful. Thank you for letting us know that. Question: how does being queer influence your music?
I feel like it's hard to know in some ways because like I don't have an option to like not write music as queer. But like I do think I try to talk about that and like being a gay person or like being a queer person within music in ways that are like uh I guess like present if you know, I guess if that makes sense. Like I'm always like really infatuated with being able to say like two things at the same time where like, you know, if you're like a straight person coming into like, you know, this song, it still has like an impact, but like I feel like if you're listening to like the album Looking as like a gay man, it has like a completely different meaning or like setup to it that like I think might like resonate in a different way. So like it's definitely there. I think when I was younger, I used to be more afraid of like putting that out there, or being able to like write openly about it. But now I'm just like, I don't know. I'm like 31 now. I have absolutely no interest in being like, oh, I don't know about that, you know? So yeah, I don't know. It's in everything, in every song. Like, you know, even the songs that aren't like specifically talking about like a guy are like, you know, queer songs written by a queer person, and that's just what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Dustin asks, Dave, if you
Oh,
were to,
that's great. That's a great question, Dustin.
right? If you were to write a song as a straight person, what would it sound like?
All right. I don't think Dustin even knows he's setting me up for this, but he is setting me up for something. When I was in Scranton, I was in a band with some friends called Scumbag Petty. We still have our record on Bandcamp. And we just decided, like I was in college at the time, we're like, well, what if we learned like some Sugar Ray songs and like some Weezer songs, and we're like Counting Crows songs, and let's like play bars and stuff. And we'll be called Scumbag Petty. And we were all in like bands that were doing other things. So that like, so we had like so much fun doing that. We used to practice in my mom's garage all the time. That like it snowballed into us being like, well, what if we wrote our own songs in this style, like, you know, as like a bar band. So we put out a record called Greatest Hits Volume 1 of Scumbag Petty songs that we had written. And I have 3 songs on it, and they're definitely all like about, like they're written as if they're about women, but they're all like completely fictitious. They're all just about men who are like so dumb and unable to like do anything, but they're in love too.
They're in love.
So I think that is the
That's incredible.
yeah, I think that is the place to find the true answer to that. I wrote Honey Mama, Dream Girl, and Go On True.
Those sound incredible. I'm very much looking forward to listening to that on Bandcamp.
It's a good record. You'll have some fun.
Quest for Method says, I think just seeing representation turn the media into just a totally different thing for queer people. It turns the media into just a totally different thing. I see. Okay. Seeing representation. Right.
Totally.
Yeah.
I think it's important. I feel like I'm a person who isn't necessarily like obviously queer, or like I feel like, you know, sometimes people like assume I'm straight or something like that. And that like I do try to like, I don't know, put that out there, not in a way to like the thing where like I don't want to like commodify it, but at the same time, like if that is like a access point, or if like it's like if it means something to like, I don't know, like to go to a gay people show and know that it's like a certainly like a safe place for queer people, or that like, you know, you can play music as a queer person, or like get on stage and have like people come out and stuff like that. Like I think that's really important, and I want to always make that available to people, or like that level of like comfort and also like representation. And I also don't feel like, I don't know, I don't think anyone's necessarily aspiring to be like cave people. We're not quite big enough. But just in general, I think, you know, it's important to be out there and to let people know who you are, and to not be like ashamed of that. And that it's really great to see people who are like you doing things that you think are cool.
That's great. I love that. The chat really wants you to play Honey Mama. We got 3 requests for it. We can at least open it up to covers if you do want to play a cover.
I don't remember any cover songs I've ever learned. I've learned a lot. I don't remember any. I could try to play Honey Mama. I don't remember how it goes, but I could try. Here's a funny. Here's some behind the scenes Philadelphia indie lore.
Yes, please.
One member of Alex G's band really loves the song Honey Mama. He's a huge sweetie, but he's like sound checked with it before, and he's always like, yeah, I checked with Honey Mama tonight.
Check with Honey Mama.
It's so funny to me. He probably knows how to play it way better than I do.
That is so good. Alex G, everyone.
Yeah. Honey Alex G. I could try to play Honey Mama.
You don't have to play Honey Mama. We want you to play with what you want to play, man.
Honey Mama is cool because it also directly name drops like a very local Scranton grocery store called Garrity's.
Oh, perfect.
It was a hyper local band.
Listen, I'm not stopping him from playing Honey Mama. I just don't think that he's capable of playing Honey Mama.
We can see how far we go. I know less of Honey Mama than I do Looking, and that was kind of a mess.
I'm just hanging out.
I think that's what it is.
I'm so straight phobic. That's what they're saying. They're saying I'm straight phobic for not wanting to hear Honey Mama.
Well, I can't say that you're not. Honey Mama is about, I'll just talk about, I might not play Honey Mama, but I'll talk what it's about.
Let's talk about it.
Honey Mama is about a man. This is a terrible thing. Who is in love with the woman at the checkout counter at Garrity's, the supermarket. So he keeps buying different like items so he can like go through her line, or like he wants her to think that he like knows how to cook. So he keeps buying things that are a little weird. But he doesn't know how to cook. He just wants to go through the line. Yeah. Yeah, it could be that.
Oh my god, it sounds like a Hallmark Christmas movie. It so is. Oh my god, my mom's seen this movie 10 times. This happens in my life. Amazing. Oh my god, yeah. Trader Joe's people in chat, put your hands up. Wait, is that creepy? It sounds sweet to me. Oh, Dustin.
It wasn't intended to be creepy at the time. It could be. I could see that being really annoying. Honey Mama might love it though. Maybe she's interested.
Right. Yeah, we really
I control these characters, you know.
I write the narrative. I write the stories here. Like Jonathan Richman singing that would explode my heart. Oh, that does. Yeah, it does sound endearing if it came from Jonathan Richman. Anyway, do you have ideas of the next song?
I'll try. I'll play Honey Mama. Who cares? Let's see what happens.
Yeah, and then maybe perhaps a song from the album that we're supposed to be talking about.
Perfect. Got a honey mama, she don't know it yet. Kind of ladies are so hard to forget. Check out a Garrity's, one day she'll marry me. My honey mama. Honey mama, I want what you're selling. Honey mama, I'm flat broke. Honey mama, my eggs are in your basket, but now they're cracked and they're leaking yolk. Honey mama, I got something to sell ya. Honey mama, let me be your fella. Honey mama, I got something to sell ya. I do. There's like a really, really tasteful solo here that I can't do. It's honestly one of my favorite solos.
Can you like hum it? Can you whistle it?
Oh, it's like want you to think I cook. I've got pen and paper. You're the one writing my book. Honey mama, I want what you're selling. Honey mama, I'm flat broke. Honey mama, my eggs are in your basket, but now they're cracked and it's leaking yolk. Honey mama, I got something to sell ya. Honey mama, let me be your fella. Honey mama, I got something to sell ya. I do, I do, I do, I do. Honey mama, I got something to sell ya. Honey mama, let me be your I can't do it. There's like a yelly part at the end. You just keep repeating, honey mama, I got something to sell ya. Honey mama, let me be your fella. Over and over again. Yeah, that's honey mama.
I feel like you're not amused as much as we are.
I can't believe I played it.
That was great.
That's
and
been
like
years, years.
no offense to you, but like you really knew how to play that song better than the other songs you played.
I think what's lucky about it is that every other song I've ever written is probably those same exact chords. So I'm just playing all of them, you know.
Oh my god, everyone was in love with this song. They were really liking the closed caption versions of this as well.
Oh wow, I wonder what that had to say.
Well, I turned it off for a second there, and then they asked for me to turn it back on, and all it said was basketball.
That's cool.
Everyone loves this song. Yes, Honey Mama. She truly don't know it yet. This is actually a cute ass song. Your eggs are in my basket. Oh my.
Wow.
This is the anthem.
Wait till you guys hear Dream Girl.
Wait till you guys. We're gonna use it as our background music next stream, definitely. I can't whistle, so that's what I do when I whistle part in the song. The gays are claiming it now. Sorry.
I mean, it's still a queer song. It was written, you know, by one of us. So
there you go. OMG, you're like me. I also stop at the repetitive end. All right, MJ, welcome to the chat. Jimmy Sprinkles, welcome. Oh my gosh, everyone's here. Yeah, if you're just tuning in, this is Braving New Worlds. I'm joined here with Dave Tamain of Cave People. You can put ! Cave People in the chat and check out their in the checkout line, and you can put and you can check out their latest album, Looking. This is a riot. I'm kind of running out of questions. Are you religious? Do you go to church? He also does comics.
Yeah, if you believe that.
We definitely could. Comics and the music.
Oh, I've gone to some Last Lost Girl streams before.
Oh, you've been there? Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's great to see you. I saw some Pajama Sam action a while ago and something else. Great, really wonderful.
Hey, how's your relationship with God, Dave? OMG, stop.
Muddied.
There you go. And that's all we can ask. You know, at least you're thinking about him. Let's see. People that you'd really like to work with. People you'd like to work with one day. Let's put it out there. Let's manifest it.
Wow, who would I like to work with? I would love to work with Sheryl Crow one day. I think Sheryl Crow is so good. And if she was ever like, yo, let's write a song together, I'd be like, oh my god,
it's a great idea.
She rocks. We did a Sheryl Crow cover on like an acoustic tape we put out just as like a before tour kind of thing. That was cool. She's so good.
Amazing.
She's really popular, but I also feel like she's really underrated as like a songwriter.
Oh yeah. Oh, God. I'm trying to think about my favorite one. Every Day's a Winding Road. I mean, those are just the hits. I don't even know the B-sides, but just like the hits are amazing.
There is some deep cuts that cut deep, if you know what I mean. They're good. What I mean is that they're good.
They're good. They're good. We've got to hydrate. If you got a bottle, let's drink some water. I kind of want to go back to comics, and then I kind of want to think of like one big question to like end it all, and then maybe we can do like one more song if you're willing, or we can cap it
For
off.
sure, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Also, I think I saw earlier someone asked about the album artwork for Looking.
Oh, that's right. Robin asked about what inspired the album artwork.
That was done by Russell Edling, who's like one of my best friends of all time. Has been in K-People for so long, and is also in like an amazing band called Golden Apples. They just put out a new record that's like probably my favorite thing he's ever done. But he's done a lot of the artwork for K-People, and with Russell's great because I can like give him a record and like he'll ask me what I think about it, but then also really like spend a lot of time listening to it and like come up with his own like conclusions about it. So like the Sailboats really came from this sense of like looking, but like being on like some kind of exposition or like traveling through something, but also traveling through like something that feels really vast in something that like you might not necessarily feel like you have a tremendous amount of control over. Like it's like a little sailboat, but like against like the wind, you're just gonna kind of go where you're blown. So I think it was very much just about like feeling a little like adrift in this sense of like searching, but also maybe not knowing what you're looking for or like where you're going, or not necessarily having control of what like that destiny is. And most of that was just like certainly thematics that I'd given to Russell, but like when he like started sending me sailboats, he was like, all right, this is why I think we should do sailboats. And I was like, that's so cool and like really apt, and also like a dimension that you're adding to it. So I was really excited with that. And I also just think they're really cute. I love that on side A of the record it's one sailboat, but on side B of the record it's two sailboats, because a thing that I hate is just writing side A and side B on anything.
That's so good. Yeah, I really like that idea. The dimension you're talking about is very profound, and I think like the sort of secret to like finding happiness in your own life, you know, accepting the transience of things, how things can transition to one thing to another. What kind of like outlook do you have on life, and how does that kind of influence your music as well?
Well, another funny thing that I remember talking to Russell about was that like so we did Looking, the next record is very much like all about wind, and he was like, well, I already did the sailboats, what am I going to do now if we're doing a wind record now? But I do think this sense of transience, or like instability, or like being kind of pushed around, can definitely come into my music a lot. I think the most recent record, I'm sorry we're talking about it and it's not out, you know, it's weird because it might still be a while, who knows.
We're building suspense. It's perfect.
Yeah, you're gonna want to hear this one day. I think so much of it is like feeling these forces that are like pushing you in all these different directions, or like kind of like knocking down the things that you thought were like supposed to stand up for a while, and like feeling this sense of like wind, or this like tempest kind of like moving things around, and rather than like clinging to all these things or trying to like hold really tightly to these like cracking facades and stuff, why not just like lean into that, like kind of commit to the direction that you're being blown in, and like rather than fight it, kind of like surrender to that, but also like use it to propel you forward. So I feel like it's like the same concept of Looking, but rather than like being set adrift by this like unknown force, letting it like take you somewhere, or like using the forces that are naturally there to like push you towards something else. That's
great. I'm excited about this next album. Dustin says, wind, how about a whoopee cushion for the album art?
We could do it. Dustin, do you want to make whoopee cushions that say K-People on them? Because I'll do it.
Just photograph some of your own, Dustin. I'm sure you have like at least 5 on standby. 5
You
whoopee
definitely
cushions.
have a cushion collection.
Dustin's a prankster. We can tell. Dave, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate
thank,
it.
thank
It's
you
been
for
such a
having me.
pleasure talking to you. Is there anything that we should be looking out for in the coming days? Do you have any shows coming up? Any sort of collaborations that are coming out?
I have nothing.
Okay.
I'm gonna be doing every Tuesday, almost every Tuesday, unless we have something going on. I stream on the Twitch account Chona's Zoner, where we play Kingdom Hearts 2 right now, and we'll definitely have more stuff going on like next year. But I feel like now that we're heading into like November and December holiday times and stuff, like nothing's really gonna happen until next year. But we'll do stuff then. Keep an eye out.
Awesome. I know tons of people are going to be excited to see you back on Twitch. So I shouted out Chona's Zoner. So you can go ahead and drop a follow over there, and stay tuned for more episodes of that. Why don't we go out with a song?
Sure, great.
Perfect.
Cool. I could stay in this place, know it so well. There's comfort and static, the familiar smell of decay in my body, decay in my mind, and stagnant water, complacent and kind. And you know what I'm thinking now. You're what I think about when I don't want to think anymore. I'll find someone pass the time, something sweet to take my mind off what I'm looking for. Are you looking? And I don't deserve your sympathy, and you never give it to me. You always know best in the end. Wanna be better than I am, but I don't wanna work for it. Maybe you understand. Are you looking? Cool.
Amazing. Like a Disney princess, Dustin says. Everyone really likes that whistle.
Thank you. It's better when it's a guitar solo, I'll say. But
So true. Snow White could never. Well played. More like the bird the princess sings too. Ooh. Like butter. Dave, have a great night. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks to everyone who was watching too. Trevor for those raids. Robin for the raid. Soph for the raid. Sorry about that. I'll be back on Saturday night playing, you guessed it, Animal Crossing. But we'll be coming at you with another episode of Braving New Worlds next week on Tuesday. We're going to be having dancer Gianna Renata on the show at the same time, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. Have a great night, Dave.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
What my skin's talking about? Now the thing that I can't do without. Now I've been here too long, always walking away from what I'm waiting on. And I feel better when I'm gone, always moving around, not moving at all. Not moving at all. Not moving at all. Now I'll tell you what I want, then I'll change my mind and get nothing at all. And you can tell me what you want, and I'll try, but how can a thing be so small? When everything's so small, everything's so small. Hold it, I know the end. I've seen it happening. I get nothing at all. 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 Nothing at all. I get nothing at all. Nothing at all.
With a few of my mods and viewer Mickey Mist and Phantasma Steph and Williford. So welcome.
Hi, Raiders.
Hello. How was your stream?
Hello.
Thank you so much for bringing your friends in here.
Nathan got drinkies?
No, nice.
I want water.
Oh god, why did I do that? I don't have enough coins to do anything.
Do the time warp.
No, because I don't have even less coins.
Oh, you're right.
Oh no.
Uh-huh.
Mario Party. Hi, PVC.
Oh, no.
F. Big F.
Is that the PVC?
That's
It's the PVC.
Why did I do that?
Oh my gosh,
Can I
that's so
undo
good.
that?
Undo what?
Yeah. Just kidding.
Oh,
I thought
oh,
I did the
see.
item. I didn't do that.
Thanks for shouting out Kurt Yukin, by the way. How was your stream? What were you guys doing? I see just chatting. Sounds like a great time.
No.
Oh,
Sorry.
gee dang it.
You got a star!
How do?
The stickers are so good.
They're so sarcastic.
I love this one.
Which
This
one?
one's the best. The Miss
The
one.
Miss.
Oh, that one's
Yeah.
good. That one's very good.
I'm not biased.
The beauty queen wave, yeah. Rosalina's got that wave down.
I went the wrong way.
Wait, Steph, you're I'm so confused. I thought you said you were my partner in the last one.
I was
No, you-
Rosalina.
I was your partner.
Oh,
You
okay,
said that
okay,
Steph was
okay.
your partner.
I was so
trying to
con-
listen.
I'm so used to Steph being Yoshi, that's why it's throwing
Yeah.
me off.
I was trying to listen to your controller because I could like kind of hear it.